Do you sometimes wonder where all your money goes? Most of us don't keep track of everything we buy, and it's easy to blow through a week's pay in the blink of an eye. We're going to take a look at some of the culprits guilty of taking all of your money. Welcome to GenXYZ Finance and Technology, where we gather the best information to keep you informed about money and tech. Now, before we start, be sure to hit that subscribe button to see more of us, and hit that bell button too so you'll be the first to know when we upload new content. Earning money can be hard, but keeping it is much more difficult. Even when you think you're spending your money right, it's often quickly gone with nothing left to show for it. Number 1. Your cell phone. Cell phones have become such a daily necessity in our lives, we don't even consider them a luxury item anymore, which is what they were back in the 1990s. Having a supercomputer in your pocket with all the information from the history of civilization sure is convenient, isn't it? The important thing about your phone is to pick a good carrier and plan at the start, and make sure nothing changes after a few months. Some attractive intro offers expire after a while, and then your fees go up. You might end up paying 50 to 100% more after the first year. Another way cell phones waste our money is when we feel compelled to upgrade every year or two. Even when your carrier gives you a quote-unquote great deal on the hot new iPhone, you're usually taking on another $20 to $30 in expenses each month just to pay for it. And should you be impatient and upgrade before your present plan is paid for, you'll be paying for two phones, or you'll have to make a lump payment to pay off the first one. Either way, that Hawaiian trip you wanted to take just got pushed back a lot farther. It's a good idea to review your phone plan every year and compare it to what else is available for new customers elsewhere. When your plan is complete, usually after 2 years, you should definitely shop around for a better deal. You're almost guaranteed to find one, as phone service providers are very competitive when it comes to attracting new business. Loyalty? You don't owe your current provider anything and should never feel bad about putting them into a corner by threatening to leave for a better deal. You'll be surprised how quickly they find a better deal for you, so you'll stay. Number 2. Bank and credit card fees. Anyone who's ever bounced a check knows the pain of watching a chunk of money just evaporate into the financial abyss. Did the bank earn that money from you? No, but you gave them a legal reason to take it from you. It's all there in the fine print of the bank's legal mumbo-jumbo you signed when you opened your account. The most common money drain these days is a quote-unquote service fee that the bank charges you each month for being kind enough to hold your money for you. It's usually around $12 to $15, and the only way around it is to keep a rather large amount of money in your account all the time and never dip below that minimum. Unfortunately, letting a bank keep a large pile of your money is usually a poor choice, since they don't even pay interest anymore. Consider putting it into an investment account that gives you access to it quickly but doesn't charge fees to withdraw. Investing platforms like Acorns are an easy way to watch your money grow from the power of the stock market without too much risk. Plus, you can withdraw funds if you need to. Here are some general tips to keep in mind. Keep a minimum amount in your account. Banks waive their fees if you keep an agreed-upon amount in your account and meet other requirements such as linking saving and checking accounts. As mentioned before, you don't want to keep too much in there. $500 would be a reasonable minimum for most people. You would need to find this out when setting up a new account. Afterwards, it's too late to change. Find your bank's ATMs near you or withdraw in advance. If you didn't already know, using ATMs not affiliated with your bank can cost you charges from both the ATM provider and your bank. Fees could be $5 or more by the time both banks take their cut. To avoid this, you can try withdrawing cash in advance when you're at your bank's ATM, or using your bank's app, if they have one, to find the nearest fee-free ATM. Plan ahead so you're not in a bind for cash while you're out. This way, you won't be forced to use a price gouging machine. Try low balance alerts. To avoid overdrafts and instances where you might have insufficient funds in your account, it would help to try low balance alerts. Overdraft coverage fees can be $35 to $40, but there's also an overdraft protection fee, which is lower than an overdraft coverage fee. However, if you haven't opted into an overdraft program and your account has insufficient funds, your bank may decline the charge or return it unpaid. A returned item fee and an insufficient funds fee could also cost you $35. To avoid overdraft and unknowingly having insufficient funds in your account, try low balance alerts to notify you and let you know when your account is low on balance. These are available on your bank's phone app. There's nothing like the insult and injury of being charged for not having enough money to cover a payment, and then the bank won't front you a few bucks to get it paid. Needless to say, overdrafts and bounced checks can also be embarrassing, so make an effort to stay on top of things. Don't use your savings account for everything. Excess transactions can cost you since most banks cap the number of monthly withdrawals you can make for certain accounts, like money market or savings accounts. After you hit a certain number, often 6, your bank could start charging you. The solution for this is to not use your money market or savings account for everything. Try a checking account instead. Trying other methods for transfers. Typically, people like using wire transfer as a way to send money quick, but banks actually charge you $20 for domestic and $35 international for such a service. Although a wire transfer may be your best option for some official transactions like a loan payoff, you can try other methods for money transfers when you're online banking or your bank's app for person-to-person transfer. The best option for sending no-fee instant bank transfers is the Zelle system, which most US banks use. Ask for your fees back. If you've had a run of overdraft fees and paid a few $100s in the past couple of years, you may want to consider using Cushion AI. It's an app that links into your bank and card accounts to request a fee refund. Typically, it will usually return at least enough to pay for the service and probably more. In addition to bank fees, it will also go after credit card late payment fees. Number 3. Surprise expenses. With life, so many things come unexpectedly. Even when you think you've got it all figured out, there are still some surprises that will come at you, and unfortunately, a lot of them are going to cost you some money. Once you realize this, it's time to start an emergency fund. In starting an emergency fund, the first thing you have to do is to think of everything that might come at you randomly in the next year. For example, hospital visits or auto repairs. Next, you want to save a bit of cash from your monthly pay. Be adamant and avoid temptation to splurge on less necessary stuff. Prioritize your emergency fund for legitimate emergencies. Additionally, it would help you to build a habit of paying for things in cash and then saving the change in a container that won't easily be opened. You'll be saving for the future the old-fashioned way. A large empty water cooler jug is great to pitch coins and bills into. It's easy to put them in, but a pain to get them out. If you don't know where to get extra money, it's a good time to start looking at other options. Maybe try selling, monetizing a talent like drawing or painting, or getting a part-time job. You could also get some extra money from selling some of the stuff that you don't even use anymore. Set a reasonable goal that is attainable after a few months, like $1,000. You'll be amazed how much peace of mind and less stress you feel every day knowing that you have a spare $1,000 socked away. Having that money also means you won't have to scramble to come up with it in a pinch and make a bad choice with your credit or hitting up a relative. Number 4. Food and snacks. Let's get real here. Who doesn't love food? Food is one of our biggest expenses, and it's hard because we really have to eat to keep our body going. However, we might make the mistake of overspending on meals every week. If you spend $12 on a lunch meal every weekday, that'll cost you $60 per week and ultimately $3,000 every year. And that's just one meal per day. Add in a couple of $50 restaurant dinners throughout the week, and you may be dropping $8,000 per year. When you're there in the moment, it doesn't seem like much, but all these expenses added up can really take a toll on your savings. So now we ask, how do we stop spending so much money on food? Here are a few tips to help you with that. Stick to your grocery list. Making a grocery list and calculating the total as you go could help you save on food, but that's only if you stick to your list. Avoid being tempted by impulse buys in the store. Eat before you buy. Don't go into a grocery store hungry because then every single thing will look appetizing and you'll want to buy everything you see. Plan meals. Food waste is a very big problem today, and it's because people don't shop smartly. Plan meals ahead so you'll know what you want and how much of it you're going to serve to avoid buying just to throw it all out, wasting and draining your money at the same time. Buy in bulk. Buying bulk bins can save you more money than purchasing packs individually, but make sure you do this just for a few staple items or on food and drinks you are super sure you'll consume and won't waste. Try farmers markets. It depends on where you live, but sometimes a supermarket isn't your only option to buy food. In the spring, fall, and summer, a lot of areas offer farmers markets. Not only do these farmers markets offer locally grown produce, but the prices are cheaper too. Limit dining out. Instead of ordering and eating out at restaurants and cafes, how about staying at home and stirring something up in your kitchen? Save dining out for more special occasions when you've saved up enough money or when a friend is paying. If you really love going to restaurants, pick one night per week. Number 5. Gasoline. Gas is such a major expense, especially with gas prices ever rising. And it's hard not to pay when gas is such a necessity in our daily lives. We use gasoline for our cars to get to school or to work and then back home. Here are a few tips you can try to lessen your spending on gas. No more bad driving habits. Apparently, accelerating quickly and braking hard can lessen your mileage by 15 to 30% at highway speeds and from 10% to 40% in heavy traffic. Avoiding these bad driving habits could save your gas so you won't have to fuel up as often. Drive less. Cut back on extra tips for every little errand you need to run. If something can wait, do it on a day where you can make other stops while you're out. Number 6. Alcohol. After an incredibly stressful day at work, you might want to unwind with a few drinks at your local pub. Depending on what you're drinking, this can really add up week in and week out. Unless your drink is a seedy hole in the wall, you're likely paying $5 or more for a beer and higher for mixed drinks or whiskey. After tipping, you may easily drop $30 each time you drop on in. Even twice a week with this routine will cost you $3,000 per year. The solution? Skip the ambience of the bar and have a drink at home of something that hasn't been marked up 1,000%. Number 7. Sales. The whole point of store sales is to get you to buy something when you weren't even thinking about it. They force you into action because of FOMO, fear of missing out. Unless you are already in the market for the sale item you're considering, just give it a pass. The cheapest sale price is not buying it at all. Number 8. Subscriptions. We've saved the worst offender for last. In recent years, various types of subscriptions and memberships have infiltrated our lives to dramatic effect. Most people lose track of how much they're spending in total since each one may only be $7 or $10 per month. Some of the subscriptions you may have include a gym membership, a music streaming service or two like Spotify or Tidal, a TV streaming platform like Netflix or Hulu or Disney Plus or HBO Max or etc. etc. You get the point. Credit monitoring, identity theft protection, cable or satellite TV, news outlets, magazines, either printed or digital, home delivered meals like HelloFresh, Amazon Prime, wine of the month, or anything quote-unquote of the month. As you can see, the list is long and we've left out a lot of stuff. Take inventory of your monthly subscription expenses and ask yourself, do you really need all of your subscriptions, or if they're just bleeding you dry? Check out Truebill, which will track down and itemize all your paid subscriptions so you really know what you're paying. Then you can make an informed decision once you see that you're giving up thousands of dollars per year on all those things. And that's it for this video. If you enjoyed and learned something from us, please do us a favor and give us a like and subscribe. Hit that bell button too so you'll be the first to know when we upload next. Thank you for watching.